Today we're going to do a pre-trip inspection on an air brake school bus, and this will be for Brookwood High School. We're going to do a little demonstration on how to do the pre-trip inspection since it's been changed in 2024, November 4th. It's all new now. This is the new sheet that you can use to do your pre-trip inspection. It has the items on here. You can write down this list and check them off as you're doing them. So it's pretty much everything on here. It's for an air brake bus, but we'll talk about a hydraulic brake bus as we're going along too. So we're going to go to the inside. That's where your pre-trip inspection will start, and go inside and start with that. Okay, first thing we're going to do inside here is the air brake test, which will be checking our governor cutout. So we're going to pump the brakes down until we get below 90 pounds or so. Okay, we're down below 90 pounds. Now we're going to start the bus, and then we're going to let it build up pressure until our governor kicks out on our air compressor. So we're going to start the vehicle up. You have to do this in this order. You can't inspect anything else. You have to do it in this order until you're done with the air brake portion of the test. Watching our air pressure build up. It should kick out about 120 pounds. You'll hear the air dryer kick out. That means the governor is working. There. Our governor is working correctly. It just kicked out the air compressor at about 120, 125 pounds. So our governor is working. Next, we're going to shut the engine off. Turn the key back on to on. And we're going to check our air brake system for leaks, which will be pushing the button in. Chalk the wheels if you need to so it doesn't roll. All right, our air pressure is stabilized. Now we're going to put our foot on the service brake pedal, hold it for 1 minute. That should not lose more than 3 pounds of pressure in a minute. So our minute is up. We didn't lose any pressure. Now we're going to check to make sure our alarm and buzzer comes on, and we'll see what pressure that comes on. Okay, so our buzzer and warning lights come on around 60 psi. Now we'll continue pumping it down until our emergency brake pops out, and we'll see what pressure that's at. Pressure popped out around 35 to 40 pounds. Everything seems to be working correctly on our air brakes. Now we're going to restart the bus. Let our pressure build up. At this time, check. My ABS light went out and it's working properly. So I'm going to check my emergency brake. If it's on, I'm going to put it in drive. And it does not move. Parking brake is holding. So we'll get our air pressure built up. Our air pressure warning devices went out at around 70 pounds. Governor cutout is working correctly, so we're going to shut the bus off. And now To finish the brake test, you would drive 5 miles an hour ahead, step on your service brake, make sure the vehicle doesn't pull to the left or to the right. Okay, so on your air pressure, make sure your governor cutout kicks out between 120 and 140, and your low pressure indicator lights and buzzers come on prior to 55 pounds. If it comes on at 60 pounds, that's all good and fine, but it has to come on before 55 pounds. Now we're going to move to our light indicator lights. So we're going to turn the key on. Here's our DEF light right up here, DPF, and that should go out after we start the vehicle. And our anti-lock brake system should go out after you start the vehicle. So then we're going to go to our light indicators, which is our left turn here, our right turn here, our four-way flashers here, our high-low beam indicator is here, and then we will check our strobe light indicator, which is on here, right over here, and then our four-way flashers, the yellow is right here, lights up. I should shut the door. We can do the yellows first. All right, so we're going to turn our yellow flasher, and that's working on the dash. The amber lights are working outside. Then we're going to go to our red warning lights outside, and that indicator is working as well. So I believe we've got our indicators covered. So we're going to move to our emergency equipment, which we have a fully charged fire extinguisher right here. It's securely mounted. We have our reflective triangles in this box right here, and they're all in there and not cracked or broken. And our extra fuses are outside in the box where the fuses would be replaced if needed. All right, next we're going to check our traffic monitoring devices, which are the mirrors here. They're not cracked, broken, they're clean, they're adjusted for me. And I would do the student mirror also at the same time, but it probably should go into the students' school bus stuff only. So then we're going to check our windshield wipers and washers, make sure that they're working properly. They're working properly. All right, and we would also check our windshield, make sure it's not cracked, broken, no illegal stickers, and it is clean. We're going to check our heater and defroster, which are over here. Heater works, everything's working here. Our defroster is up here. That all works. And then we're going to check the horn, make sure that works. So next we're going to go to our passenger entryway. So we're going to open the door, make sure that that opens and closes smoothly. The handrails are not loose, they're secure. And we're going to check our steps to make sure there's no loose matting on the steps on the entryway coming in. Our emergency exits. I'm going to go back here and open one. It opens, the buzzer comes on, and I would do all of the emergency exits. There's two on each side, the rear door and the top. So we're going to check the rear door. Closes, the buzzer comes on. And we're going to check our seats. We would check every seat to make sure that it's secure here and secure on the bottom. Nothing's cracked, broken, and all the cushions are tight and secure. And then we'll check our passenger monitoring device, which is the mirror. It's adjusted properly. It's not cracked, broken, it's clean and securely mounted. So now we would also do our first aid kit up there. It's fully stocked, and our body fluid cleanup is in here. We can open that and check that to make sure that that's fully stocked. Okay, now we're going to do all of our outside lights, which is going to be our clearance lights on the front of the bus and on both sides of the bus all the way down, and our front clearance lights. We're going to check all them, make sure that they're functioning, and they are. We're going to check our left turn in the front, it's working, and the sides. Right turn, it's working in the front and then on the side. We're going to check our high and low beam, make sure that that works. We're going to check our four-way flashers to make sure that they're working. They're all working. Now we're going to check our yellow student lights, and they are working outside. And then we're going to put on the red flashing light in the front, and they are working. And our stop arm come out, and both lights are working there. Our crossing gate arm has come out and is working properly. So then we'd go the four-way flashers on the side of the bus, they're working. Our strobe light on top is working, and we would do the same in the back. We'd check all of our clearance lights in the back, make sure that they're all working. Check our tail lights to make sure that they're all working. Our left turn, our right turn, our four-way flashers, our brake lights, clearance lights, and the strobe light, which we've mentioned already. So we're gonna go outside now and check all of the outside lights to make sure that they're not cracked or broken and they're securely mounted. All right, now we're going to check the outside of our bus for lenses. We're going to check all of our lenses, make sure they're not cracked, broken, and they're all securely mounted. So we'll start with our clearance lights up on top and on the front here and on the front part of the bus. Make sure they're not cracked, broken, proper color, securely mounted. We'll start with our student lights up on top. Yellows are not cracked, broken, securely mounted. Our reds are not cracked, broken, securely mounted. So we'll go down to our signal lights, four-way flashers. They're not cracked, broken, they're proper color. Our headlights are not cracked, broken, and they're clear. Student arm is securely mounted and in place. All right, we've checked our lenses on the outside of the bus. They're all in place. Next, we're going to move to our fluid levels. We're going to check our fluid level, make sure it's at the full mark. Container is securely mounted. None of the hoses are cracked, free, or leaking for the coolant. We check our oil. Pull it did stick out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it up, make sure it's at the proper level. We check our power steering level, which is right here. Make sure that the container is tight, secure, not cracked, broken. The fluid level is full. We check all our power steering hoses, make sure they're not cracked, broken, leaking, frayed. Any problems with the brake hoses. We're listening for any air leaks on all of our air lines, here. We've checked this brake hose to make sure that it's not cracked, frayed, leaking. And we look underneath the bus for any fluid leaks of any kind on there. Next, we'll go to our steering components, which will be the steering box, which is right here. It's tight, secure, all the bolts are in place. It's not leaking. We go to our steering linkage, which is right here, and back there. All the nuts and bolts are tight, secure. The casting nuts are in place. The cotter pins are in place. Nothing looks to be worn, loose, or broken. Next, we'll go to our suspension. Well, we're in here. We're going to check our front spring mount, our rear spring mount, our U-bolts. They're all tight, secure, not cracked, broken, or loose. Our springs, there's none cracked, broken, missing, shifted, or cracked. The shock absorber is tight, secure on both ends, and the shock absorber's not leaking. We're at the brake hose, which I did already, and it's not leaking. I don't hear any air coming out of it. It's securely mounted, not cracked or break. We look inside our brake shoes and drum, make sure there's no oil or grease or any other contaminants on the brakes. Our tire, we would check the tread depth with a gauge, make sure it has at least 4/32 of tread. The outside of the tire has no cuts, bulges, no abrasions on the tire. We would check the air pressure, wherever the valve stem is in here. We check the valve stem to make sure that it's not cracked, broken, bent, it has a cover on it. Check the tire pressure with a gauge, should be 100 pounds. We check our rim for any cracks, breaks, illegal welds, and it's not bent in any way. Our lug nuts underneath these covers, we check to make sure that they're all present. None are missing, none are loose, there's no rust trails coming off any of these lug nuts to indicate a loose lug. All right, we're going to check the outside of our bus here. We're going to check our traffic monitoring devices, which is the mirrors. They're not cracked, broken, and securely mounted. They are clean. We check all of them on both sides. We've already checked our door for the operation, make sure that it works smoothly. We'll check all our reflectors and lights down the whole side of the bus. All the reflectors are in place, none are missing. Our signal light is not cracked, broken. Four-way flashes, same light, it's not cracked, broken, securely mounted. All of our clearance lights along the side of the bus, not cracked, broken, proper color. And none are missing. Next, we're going to check our depth here. So we'll check this. The cap is on tight. The tank looks to be securely mounted. There are no leaks any place around the depth tank. And I will do my fuel tank the same way as I did this depth tank. So we'll go down the rest of the side of the vehicle here. The frame, we would look underneath to make sure the frame is not cracked, broken, no illegal welds, and it's not rusted out. All right, this is where our fuel tank is, and I explained it earlier. Cap is on tight, there's no leaks, it's securely mounted. And we would check all that from underneath the frame we did. So we're going to go to the back of the bus. We're going to check our clearance lights, make sure they're not cracked, broken. Our student discharge lights, they're not cracked, broken, they're all the proper color, same with the clearance lights. Signal lights, four-way flashers, they're not cracked, broken, all the proper color. Tail lights, brake lights, they're not cracked, broken, all securely mounted. All of our reflective tape is in place all the way around the bus. The back door will open, make sure it opens from the outside for the emergency exit. And it closes properly. So we'll go up here, go outside the bus, one more thing to check out here. We check our strobe light, make sure it's not cracked, broken, and it's clear, and it is working correctly. Our batteries are inside this compartment here. We would look to make sure that they're securely mounted. The cables are all tight, there's no corrosion, no loose cables or anything like that. You do not have to open the door. Check our student stop sign, stop arm, make sure it's secure, the lights are not cracked, broken, proper color, and working. Okay, we've concluded the pre-trip inspection on the school bus with air brakes. If your bus has hydraulic brakes, you would check your backup motor by stepping on the service brake pedal, listening to make sure the motor activates with the key off. You can either check for leaks on that, by pumping the pedal up and holding it for 5 seconds. Make sure it doesn't fade away at all on you. If the bus does not have a backup motor on it, then you would have to start the bus, pump the brakes up 3 times, hold it for 5 seconds, make sure that it doesn't fade away. Also, under the hood, you would check your hydraulic brake fluid to make sure that it's full. The master cylinder is securely mounted and it's full of fluid and none of your hoses and lines are leaking off of that. So that would be for a hydraulic brake bus.